Julius woke up the next morning feeling like his body was still bruised from the night attack. His cheek was swollen. His shoulder hurt badly. But the real pain was deeper than his injuries. It was the fear. Fear of what Tund could do. Fear of what the guard could do. Fear of what they could do to Amara. He stood in the yard with Sei beside him, trying not to look weak. But people could smell fear in prison. It was like blood in water. Sei spoke softly. "You haven't said a word since yesterday." Julius swallowed. "I'm thinking." "About what?" "About the notebook. About the app. About Amara. About my mother." Sei nodded slowly. "I understand." Julius turned to him. "If I lose Nifty Saves, then everything I've suffered becomes useless." Sei placed a hand on his shoulder. "You won't lose it." But Julius didn't answer. His eyes were fixed on the far end of the yard, where Tund stood with his boys, laughing like nothing happened. Like Julius's pain was entertainment. Julius forced himself to walk away. In the bakery the tension was thick. Even the ovens sounded louder. Julius tried to focus, but his mind kept replaying every word from the night. "Tomorrow morning my boy will see her." He couldn't breathe properly. A younger inmate approached him carefully. "Teacher, are you okay?" Julius forced a smile. "I'm fine." The boy hesitated. "Sir, someone has been asking questions about you." Julius's heart tightened. "Who?" The boy glanced around. "A man from another block. He said he wants to meet you." He didn't give his name. Julius felt cold. "Where is he?" "Near the showers," the boy whispered. Julius stared at the ovens. His instincts screamed that this could be a trap. But he also knew, if he kept running from every shadow, he would never learn the truth. "I'm going," Julius said. Sei grabbed his arm immediately. "No, not alone." So they walked together. Near the showers Julius saw him. A middle-aged inmate, calm face, sharp eyes. He didn't look like a thug. He looked like someone who had once lived outside with dignity. He raised his hand slightly. "Julius." Julius stopped. "Yes." "Who are you?" The man leaned closer. "My name is Malik. I'm in Block A. I heard you're building something. And I heard someone wants to destroy you." He frowned. "How do you know?" Malik ignored him and focused on Julius. "Because I've seen this before." Julius' voice was cautious. "What do you want?" Malik sighed. "To warn you. You're walking into a war you don't understand." Julius swallowed hard. "Tund is already threatening me." Malik nodded. "Tund is the loud part of the problem. But he is not the real problem." Julius felt his chest tighten. "Then who is?" Malik's voice dropped. "There is a group in this prison. They work with certain guards. They make money from illegal things. The bakery, the storeroom, the supply chain, even the visitation records." Sei stiffened. "You're saying the guards are criminals?" Malik looked at him sharply. "Not all of them. But enough," Julius whispered. "And Nifty Saves is threatening them?" Malik nodded slowly. "Yes, because it brings attention. Investors, government eyes, media eyes. It could expose them." Julius shook his head, almost laughing in disbelief. "I'm just trying to build a savings app." Malik stared into his eyes. "And that's why you're dangerous. You don't even know how powerful your idea is." Julius felt dizziness. "Then what do I do?" Malik leaned closer. "You need protection. Not from the warden. Not from guards. You need protection from people who don't fear prison." Sei asked quickly. "Who can protect him?" Malik hesitated. Then he said, "There is only one person in this prison who can stop Tund." Julius whispered. "Who?" Malik replied. "The person Tund fears." Julius stared. "Who is that?" Malik didn't answer directly. He only said, "If you want to live, you must stop trying to fight alone. You must build allies." Julius looked away. His mind was in chaos. Malik continued, "Also, you need to find who framed you. Because the person who framed you is connected to this prison. That is why they are trying to silence you." Julius froze. His voice turned small. "You think the person who framed me is connected to this?" Malik nodded. "Yes." Julius felt his throat close. "My friend. Chima." Malik studied his face. "Chima." Julius' eyes filled with tears. "He didn't show up in court. He disappeared. And now, I'm thinking maybe he wasn't just absent." Say gripped Julius's shoulder. "Don't break down." Julius tried to breathe. Malik spoke again. "If you want truth, you need someone outside. Someone who can investigate." Julius immediately whispered, "Amara." Malik nodded. "Yes, but she must be safe first." Julius felt panic rising again. "They have her photos. They're watching her." Malik's eyes darkened. "Then you must act fast." Julius nodded. "I will." He turned to leave, but Malik grabbed his arm. "One more thing," Malik whispered. "Don't trust the warden." Julius paused. Malik continued. "The warden smiles like he is helping you, but his loyalty is not to you. It is to whoever keeps him rich." Julius' stomach dropped. Say asked, "Are you sure?" Malik looked at Say. "In prison, the kindest face is sometimes the sharpest knife." Then Malik walked away. Julius stood still, shaking. Say whispered, "We are surrounded." Julius nodded slowly. "Yes." That night Julius could not eat. He kept thinking of Amara alone outside, unaware of how close danger was. He kept thinking of his mother praying without knowing her son might die. He stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Please, let me survive long enough to clear my name." Then footsteps came again. Not many, just one. Julius turned his head. The new guard stood outside their cell. He smiled. Julius' heart stopped. The guard spoke calmly, almost politely. "Julius, come with me." Say stood quickly. "Where?" The guard looked at Say. "Not you. Only Julius." Julius swallowed hard. "Why?" The guard's smile stayed. "Because someone wants to see you." Julius looked at Say. Say's eyes were filled with fear. Julius whispered, "If I don't come back." Say grabbed his hand tightly. "You will come back." Julius stepped out. The guard led him down the corridor. Deeper, darker, quieter. Then they reached a small room. The guard opened the door. Julius stepped in. And froze. Tund was inside. But this time he was not alone. A man in plain clothes sat at the table, calm and silent. And when the man finally lifted his face, Julius felt his blood turn to ice. Because Julius recognized him. He had seen him before. Not in prison. In the outside world. Julius stood frozen in the doorway. The man sitting at the table looked calm, like he owned the air in the room. He wore plain clothes, but everything about him screamed power. His posture, his quiet confidence, the way the guard stood behind Julius like a servant. Tund sat beside him, smiling like a pet that had finally pleased its master. Julius' throat tightened. His heart was beating so loudly he could hear it in his ears. The man raised his eyes. Julius recognized him. Not from prison. From outside. Julius had seen him once. Months ago, at the bank. It was just a quick moment. Julius had been depositing money from his shop. And this man walked in surrounded by security. Everyone had stood up. Bank staff bowed like they were greeting a king. Now he was here. In prison. Watching Julius. The man spoke gently, like he was speaking to a child. "Julius Obinna," he said. "Sit." Julius didn't move. The guard behind Julius pushed his shoulder slightly. "Sit down." Julius sat. His hands were shaking. He tried to keep his voice steady. "Why am I here?" The man smiled slightly. "Because you've been causing trouble." Julius blinked. "Trouble?" The man leaned forward a little. "You built something inside prison. Something that is becoming too loud." Julius swallowed. "Nifty Saves is not trouble. It helps people." The man laughed softly, like Julius had told a joke. "You are young," the man said. "You still believe the world rewards good things." Julius' eyes burned with anger. "It should." Tun chuckled. "See, stubborn boy." The man raised a hand to silence Tun. Then he looked back at Julius. "I want to ask you a question. Who gave you permission to build a platform that can make poor people financially independent without control?" Julius stared. "Permission?" The man nodded calmly. "Yes, permission." Julius felt anger rise. "I don't need permission to help people save money." The man's smile faded. His voice became cold. "Yes, you do." Julius went quiet. The man continued. "You don't understand the kind of power you're touching. People like you are supposed to remain small." Julius whispered. "I was small. That's why it was easy to frame me." The man paused. For the first time the room became very still. Julius' heart hammered. He knew he had just said something dangerous. The man's eyes narrowed slightly. "You think you were framed?" Julius swallowed. "I know." Tun shifted uncomfortably. The man stared at Julius for a long moment. Then he said, "Interesting." Julius clenched his fists under the table. "Why was I framed?" The man leaned back, calm again. "Because you saw something you weren't supposed to see." Julius' breath caught. "What did I see?" The man didn't answer directly. Instead he said, "You have always been curious. Always watching patterns. Always asking questions." Julius' eyes filled with tears of anger. "I only wanted a simple life." The man looked at him like he was nothing. "A simple life is for people who obey." Julius shook his head slowly. "No. A simple life is for people who are free." The guard behind Julius moved like he wanted to hit him, but the man stopped him again with one hand. The man leaned forward and placed a folder on the table. He pushed it toward Julius. "Open it." Julius hesitated, then opened it. Inside were photos. Photos of Amara. Photos of his mother. Photos of his small shop. Photos of his brother. Julius' stomach dropped. His voice broke. "Please don't touch them." The man spoke softly. "Then stop Nifty Saves." Julius' chest rose and fell fast. Tears rolled down his face. Tun smiled cruelly. "Now you don't understand," Julius whispered. "Why are you doing this?" The man replied coldly. "Because I can." Julius breathed shakily, fighting himself. Every part of him wanted to collapse and surrender. But another part of him, deeper, refused. He thought of the women who used the app to save for their children. He thought of the poor who finally had hope. He thought of the other inmates who looked at him like he was proof that life could still change. He wiped his face slowly. Then he looked the man in the eye. "I won't stop." The room fell silent. Tun's smile disappeared. "Are you mad?" The man's face turned hard. "You're choosing death." Julius' voice trembled but stayed firm. "I already died the day they framed me. Everything after that is extra life." The guard grabbed Julius's shoulder. The man raised a hand. "Leave him." Then the man stood up and walked around the table until he stood right in front of Julius. He whispered so quietly only Julius could hear. "You think you are the hero. But heroes don't last long in this country." Julius stared at him with tears. The man leaned closer. "Tonight you will be placed in solitary. You will come out broken. And when you are broken, you will sign." Julius shook his head. "No." The man smiled. "Yes." He turned and walked away. The guard grabbed Julius and dragged him out. Solitary was darkness. No bed. No window. No sound. Just Julius and his thoughts. Hours passed. Julius talked to God in whispers. He begged. He cried. He remembered his mother's hands, his childhood, his dreams. Then he remembered Malik's words. Build allies. Julius looked around the cell, his mind searching for any chance, any crack in the wall. That was when he heard it. A soft tap at the corner of the cell. Then a whisper. Julius. Julius turned sharply. Who is that? A voice replied. It's Malik. Julius crawled closer to the wall. How are you here? Malik whispered. No time. Listen carefully. You are not alone. Julius' voice shook. They're threatening my family. Malik replied. I know. And I know who that man is. Julius froze. Who? Malik's voice turned serious. He's a powerful businessman. He owns businesses, banks, and he has people everywhere. He is the reason many people disappear quietly. Julius whispered. So what do I do? Malik said. Expose him. Julius laughed in pain. How? From inside Solitary. Malik whispered. Amara is the key. She already has the app code. She already has proof of your work. What she needs now is your confession. Julius frowned. Confession? Malik replied. Your full story. Everything. The threats. Photos. Names. The guard. And everything. She must record it. Julius' heart pounded. But they can kill her. Malik whispered. She must go public fast. Viral fast. If the whole country hears it, they can't erase her easily. Julius swallowed hard. Do you have a phone? Julius asked. Malik hesitated. Yes. Small one. Julius nearly cried. Please connect me. Malik whispered. I can't stay long. When I leave you must be strong. Julius nodded, tears dropping. Thank you. Malik pushed the phone closer through a hidden opening. Julius' hands shook as he held it. He called Amara. She answered quickly, voice panicked. Julius. Oh my God, where are you? I haven't heard from you. Julius choked. Amara, listen. Record this call. Please. Amara froze. Record. Julius, what's happening? Julius' voice broke. They're trying to force me to stop Nifty Saves. A powerful man came to the prison. He threatened you. He threatened my mother. He threatened my brother. Amara gasped. What? Julius continued, faster now. He has photos. He has guards working for him. Tund is working with him. I'm in Solitary. Amara started crying. Julius. Jesus. Julius whispered. Amara, go public. Post it. Tag every blogger, every journalist, every human rights page. Everything. Amara's breathing was shaky. If I do that, they will come for me. Julius said softly. If you don't, they will come anyway. Amara went silent. Then she whispered. Okay. I will. Julius closed his eyes in relief, tears falling freely. Thank you. Amara cried harder. Julius. Believe you. I believe you're innocent. Julius whispered. Please save my name. I will, she promised. The call ended. 2 days later the prison changed. Guards became tense. The warden started shouting more than usual. Prisoners were whispering again. But this time it wasn't gossip. It was fear. Because outside Amara had gone public. She uploaded the recording. She posted screenshots of Nifty Save's growth. She showed Julius's sketches. She showed the threats. And the story exploded. News blogs picked it up. Then bigger platforms. Then radio. Then TV. The country was angry. How can they frame an innocent man? How can they try to stop a man building hope? Who is that powerful man? And something else happened. Investors who first wanted to invest quietly now became loud. Mr. Grant made a public statement. We are backing Julius Obinna and Nifty Saves. Any harm done to him will be met with full legal action. The businessman in plain clothes didn't expect that. And because of that pressure, the prison authorities moved fast. Tund was taken to isolation. The new guard disappeared. The warden suddenly became polite. When Julius was finally released from solitary, he looked thinner, but his eyes were brighter. The warden called him into the office. "You have caused a national storm," the warden said. Julius replied calmly, "No. The truth caused the storm." The warden sighed. "Your case is being reviewed. The government has stepped in." Julius' chest tightened. "Does that mean?" The warden nodded slowly. "Yes. You may be released sooner than expected." Julius felt his knees weaken. He wanted to cry. He wanted to collapse. But he held it in. Days later, Julius stood in court again. This time the courtroom wasn't cold. It was alive with hope. Amara sat in front row. His mother was there too, older, thinner, shaking. When she saw Julius, she broke down crying. "My son, my son." Julius wanted to run to her, but he stood still. The judge spoke firmly. "New evidence has shown that Julius Obinna was framed and falsely accused. This court hereby sets him free." Julius froze. For a moment he couldn't breathe. Then his mother screamed. His brother cried loudly. Amara covered her mouth with her hands and sobbed. Julius finally broke down. Tears flowed like rain. He dropped to his knees right there, shaking. He whispered, "God, thank you." Outside the court, cameras surrounded him. Reporters shouted questions. "Julius, how do you feel? Julius, what's next? Julius, are you really a billionaire?" Julius lifted his head slowly. He looked at the sky like it was the first time he was seeing it. Then he said softly, "I went to prison with nothing. But I refused to let my life end there." He turned to Amara and held her hand. "Nifty saves started as pain," he said. "But it became purpose." Mr. Grant stepped forward to stand beside them. He raised a document. "This company," he announced, "is now valued at over $1 billion. People screamed. Julius' mouth opened slightly. $1 billion. He remembered sleeping on that hard prison bed. He remembered being slapped. He remembered being called a thief. And now, he was a billionaire. But he didn't smile like a proud man. He smiled like a survivor. He looked at the camera and said, "They framed me, but they couldn't stop me. And they will never stop the people who are ready to rise." Julius hugged his mother tightly. His mother cried into his shoulder. "My son, you did it." Julius whispered into her ear, "We did it, Mama." And as the cameras kept flashing, Julius walked forward. Free. Victorious. Billionaire. If you made it to the end, you're a real one. Now like, subscribe and comment. Justice. If you believe Julius deserved this win. See you in the next story.